Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Velvet Riot. Your Eve Girls of Battle Riot Wrestling post show here at BC WrestlePod. My name is Mikey, and I'm excited to talk about this show as this is the first of many shows to talk about that happened over this weekend in the UK. Goodness galore. But of course, I can never do this alone. I don't want to do it alone because it's not as fun. But joining me as always is my other fellow member of the Velvet Riot, Mr. Berdito himself, Benny the Bear, looking snazzy as always, my friend. I love it. I'm happy to have you here.
Well, thank you. Greetings and salutations, people of the internet, and Mikey. Let's rock and roll.
Hell yeah, brother. So, we're going to be talking about Eve 153, which is aptly titled Eve versus the World 2. So, because of all in happening this weekend, this was our proper way to start out the whole entire UK wrestling weekend, as Eve would have their girls mix it up with other wrestlers from around the world, which again is so much fun. And man, before we even deep dive into this, what a show, man. What a show. Like, honestly, I never have any expectations going into Eve, and I'm always thoroughly entertained. Eve is so easy to watch. Like, the girls are always killing it. Like, Yes.
Yeah, like you always know that like you're gonna get a story that that bleeds nicely into the next, and you may not you may get a little bit of a payoff, but uh, you can always expect the unexpected.
100%. And we are going to be diving into everything that went down here at Eve 153. But before we do that, to give the intro a little bit, y'all already know how this goes. You can find us on pretty much almost most major streaming platforms as we go live, or you can check out our main YouTube channel for the edited show reviews that will go up the next day. We have social media at BC Wrestle Pod, where if you were on the Instagrams this morning, you saw me go absolutely mad Chad with power as there was so much wrestling this weekend. I uploaded at least 6 report cards of everything that happened. I also realized that I never posted my report card for a TNA pay per view that happened last weekend because I was in San Diego, get my life. Um, but I am caught up with all of it. There was a lot of wrestling, which you will hear about this week. So go check all that out if you want to. We also have merchandise, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. We have a little coffee bot to help us pay for pay-per-views and to also keep the metaphorical and sometimes actual lights on. So without further ado, let's get into this because let's talk about some Eve 153. So, again, like I said, Eve versus the World 2, and it is, oh man, it is such a good show to talk about. I just, yeah, excellent wrestling. We're going to deep dive into a whole bunch of stuff, but let's get into it. So, we kick things off this, chapter of Eve. I think we'll call them chapters. I think we should call them chapters. I don't know what the proper term is, but we'll call them chapters. So we're gonna begin chapter 153 off proper with what kicked things off. So we, of course, have our Eve, our Eve champion, Miss Session Moth Martina, again able to find time to be here and somehow managed to find a babysitter for all 5,028 228 of her kids. Um, so we love her, but again, Session Moth's thing over the last couple of chapters is she's had an open challenge for her, Eve championship. And so far, she has always been successful in this defense. And she has it again. And it is answered by none other than the cosmic killer herself. Miss Stat Daddy Chris Statlander is in the building. But really quickly, though. Hi, Nick. Yes,
Good evening.
Zach. And to answer your question, yes, Nicholas, that is Kaylee Ray. She is an Eve, which, I'm just saying, if you want to check out some independent women's wrestling, y'all know I can slide you the YouTube. We're going to get to her because she was part of our main event. But yeah, so again, opening match session for the Eve, championship open challenge. Session Moth defending the title against AEW as Miss Stat Daddy herself, Chris Statlander. And I clutched my metaphorical pearl, so I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. But okay. uh
Me neither, man. Like Session Moth was like, uh, she's been a great champion, right? Um, but like we've been always been wondering what's next, and this open challenge, she might have bit off a little bit more than she could chew because Stat Daddy's home, and she didn't wait. Statlander didn't waste long at all because she just dropped that Eve International title like what 2 months ago,
Yeah,
a
back at
month ago
Eve one.
maybe.
Yeah, about I want to say maybe 2 months ago because I think it was 2 months
Hmm.
ago. I want to say, well, actually, no, I think it might have been a month ago because it was July. No, it was 2 months ago because I remember when we did the post show for Eve 150, I was house sitting for my friend who was gone like that last week of June or whatever.
Oh, that
So
yeah, that's right. Because
I was in a different location.
because Miyu Yamashita held the had the title in TJPW all throughout the Cinderella Cup.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
um, oh, the Princess Cup. Sorry. Um, but I digress. This this match was great, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness. Like Chris did such a good job because like she was totally playing the heel in this match too. She's just
Oh yeah.
like well, I mean, to be fair, everyone loves Session Moth. We love Session Moth, but Session Moth is the face here and the hometown favorite. And so she was playing heel very well, and I thought it was great. Now, Nick brings up a really interesting point. He's like, I feel that Stat gets a lot of unnecessary hate. And he also agrees that
Yeah.
Stat is a better heel. I think I don't want to say she has more fun playing heel, but like I do like it when she does play heel because it gives her more room to kind of test out her cosmic killer character, in my personal
Yeah.
opinion. I love babyface Statlander, but heelish Statlander is also really fun too. But
Yeah.
I also,
Uh,
yeah, I
and
go ahead.
and she's sort of a brute, right?
Hmm.
Like, so that's sort of her wrestling style, anyways. Is that like she's, really she's like the strong girl, So like
Hmm.
it works in her favor to be like throwing everybody around and being mean.
100%. It's which the BC WrestlePod is a no Chris Statlander slander channel. We will be
Oh yeah.
having none of it. Um, Listen, everyone's opinion is valid, and we would never censor you. But also, if you say mean things about Stat, you better become prepared to throw down. I'm gonna take off these earrings. We're gonna fight.
I'm taking off my shoes as we speak.
Yes. Yes, Nick got the going. Hashtag no stat slander. Yes, that is a t-shirt now. Hashtag no stat slander.
Stat slander.
Oh my goodness. But this was a really fun match. And I want to say I was surprised because I do like Session Moth, but I'm also not surprised as what you said earlier, Benny. Chris ends up winning this match. She is the new Eve champion. And we've kind of said it the last couple of chapters that since winning the title at Wrestle Queendom, it feels like Session Moth was kind of where we were just waiting to see what was next and who was going to come take it off her. Um, Not to say that it was a bad thing. I am a little bummed to see Session Moth not have the title, but to be completely honest, I'm okay with it because she really got her big moment at Wrestle Queendom this year. And it like prior to Wrestle Queendom, it was a whole year of her trying to get to that point and then having to win, their tournament, their battle royale, whatever you want to call it, to get that match. And then the epic, everybody brawling and everything. So it was
Yeah.
she had the moment.
Uh, her winning the she won to get that match against Riho
Hmm.
at Wrestle Queendom. And man, if you don't like Session One, there's something wrong with you. And but when Chris kicked out of the Jaeger bomb, I was like, "Oh, she winning."
I'll be like, pack it up,
Like,
kids, pack it up. I was just like, oh man. But Chris Statlander is our new Eve champion. Um and we have some interesting directions going with her when we're going to talk about at the very end of this show because of things that transpired. But let's move on. I'm just going to let this next picture just stay up here for a little bit because this was the most iconic shit you could have ever happened. Oh my gosh, I was hoping we would. Oh man, I was hoping we could get some more craziness, and in fact, we did. So let's walk through this real quick, right? So before we even get to the wrestling, so we had Amira come out. Amira is iconic. We love her. She is fantastic, hands down. And also, Abby is like Abby got this match made and everything. So I'm just sitting here and I was just like, okay, let's see how this gonna go, right? So Abby got found a tag team partner for Amira in hopes of getting her job back, kind of, but not really. And then we find out that her partner is Kingsley of all people, and I was having a cackle. I was like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be iconic and just shenanigans galore." So originally, it's Amira and Kingsley versus the First Class Dolls, and so we're ready to get this match started. But all of a sudden, and I had to ask, and I had to text you, Betty, because I was just like, I don't want to assume, but we hear a familiar voice over the intercom, like in the audience is like, "Hold up, bruv." I was just like, "Oh my god, Will, is that you?" And he's so before we even get to the match, Will says that now we will start the talent portion of the show. I'm like, what is this? And then it just turned into a whole mess, but like the best mess. Like we had the talent portion, the First Class Dolls did the kid and play. We had Amira and Kingsley do their stuff. Amira and Kingsley win the talent portion, and then we get into the actual fighting. I'm just like, Cassius is out here wearing a sensible heel, thank God. I was just like, oh, I love the best way to kind of surmise everything that we saw was I love professional wrestling sometimes. I really do.
Yeah, it's a variety show, right? And this might have taken that a little bit too seriously, but I'm glad it did. Um, yeah, uh, I love Abby. I love the character of Abby. Like she's trying to be, uh, she's trying to find a job, right?
Mhm.
And she's trying to be anybody's assistant. So she had to find Amira an opponent at this match, and out comes Frankie B and Aisha, the First Class Dolls. Frankie B is fantastic. I've seen her around a bunch. Aisha, I'm not very familiar with, but I I know I've heard the name before. Yeah. Once I heard the familiar tones of Billy Osprey, uh, which I find funny because like they showed him on screen for like a split second, right? And apparently they just like changed it back because there was like too many people in the way or something, you know. But like Billy's in the back and like he's got like a bucket hat on. He looks like one of the looking like LL Cool J or something, right? Yeah, this was just fantastic. I'm going on way too much about this. It's because I loved every little bit of it, so I'm just gushing. It's really all it is. Like,
No, it was fantastic stuff. Like once we got through the talent portion too, this was a nice little tag team match between
mm,
everybody involved. And it got us some really good stuff. So Amira and Kingsley would end up beating the First Class Dolls, but because it's Amira and we love her diva behavior, she's just like she beats up on Kingsley afterwards, and poor Abby gets it too. And Amira and Cassius just exit the building, and I was just like, more Amira, please, more Amira, because she's great.
yes, always more Amir and Cassius. Always more Amir and Cassius. I liked yeah that Abby got dropped with a stunner. Um,
Mm.
sold it so hilariously, dude. She just sort of like fell over. Like, um, and I'm always a big fan of Kingsley.
Yeah, Kingsley's like growing on me. again, my first real introduction to her was through Mystery Wrestling, but now I'm seeing her more there, and now she's here in Eve and popping up more on the UK scene too. I'm just like, I actually really like Kingsley. She's great.
Yeah, one of those gimmicks, like sort of like Becca, right? Where like
Hmm.
she comes out singing, and then like you hate it, and then you love it, and then you hate it again, and then you by the end you love it.
Hmm.
So it takes a certain kind of talent to get that kind of stuff over, and she's doing it.
Oh, 100%. I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, it's so good. This was such a fun match. And again, I'm going to be saying that a lot because this was a fun show. And E versus, it's like a showcase of like people being put together. So let's keep that spirit going because uh oh my gosh, this was so much fun. So we get an 8-woman tag. And of course, coming in first is our babyface team. Of course, the team of hyperactive Miss Holly Barlow. Holly, I love you. And then, of course, rounding out the team at that point of the weekend, the AEW TBS champion, Miss Maya World. I was just like, you know what, Maya? You get that. I was like, get that girl, get that back. Like, I was so happy to see Maya. I was just like, oh, she's teamed up with some really good people. Like, she's gonna have some fun. And then, of course, on the heel side, you get the team of, even though they're heels, I will never hate them. French art, because French art is amazing. So JGU and Corey Zero, and they are teaming up with the baddies of Eve, Rio, and Alexis Falcon. This was just like a car crash match, and I was here for all of it. Like, this was just a fun 8-woman tag. You know, again, French art are heels. By technically, they are heels, but the crowd and myself, we're always going to cheer French art because I love me some French art, man. French art is awesome. This was just another fun one. Everyone got to do some stuff. You know, we had like multiple close finishes, everybody spamming finishers, like the different styles clashing, like Maya getting like the hope spot of fighting everybody off until everyone could come back in. Like hyperactive being amazing as well. Like this was I have no notes.
Yeah,
This was great.
those were actually some notes.
That is why Benny is here because I just gush because I love all the talent, but I forget that I actually have to give my opinions on what actually happened in the ring.
Of course, of course. Uh, this was just a party match, and a party was had. Um, I love the tied up and knot spot. A little shout out, perhaps to Emi Sakura, uh, with her tea time. You know, I know Hyperactive has been doing that little stick a lot over in Sendai Girls. Um, I love the fact that like there was one point where like everybody did a dive except for Anita Vaughn, and then like or it was somebody that just failed. Uh, but you're right about French art. Like they're sort of like the heels. They go, "Yay, boo!" Like like, "Yay, I mean, boo." um, I did love that. There was one part where um, Maya had did a double team move on Riho and Alexis Falcon, and she did this like fall away slam into an O'Connor roll. That was pretty neat.
Yeah. this was this was another, like you said, this was a party match and the party was had. This was really fun. Our baby faces would win this match, so hyperactive Holly and Maya win. But it does sets up some other things too because I'm gonna talk at the end of the show. We're gonna preview our next Eve show, which is literally this Friday. we're like they waste no time, and I love it. But really good stuff. Now, I want to put a disclaimer out there. So before we get into our next match, the next match that we're going to talk about may not be suitable for all ages. And if you are squeamish and not really, the purveyor of hardcore and death, matches, this next one may not be for you. So please, viewer discretion is advised. What you're about to see is a trigger warning, but also please keep your conversation respectful and supportive. The opinions that we're about to talk about and the images we're about to see may not be suitable for all ages, ethnicities, gender types, gender norms, sexual orientations, and everything else that you can think of. But you have been warned. So please come back in about 7 minutes or so, and then you will miss out on it. But here we go. So before I let the picture hang out for a little bit, we are, and I was really happy and fun to see this. Our next match is for the inaugural Spirit of, well, technically inaugural, but also slash vacant from what I heard too. But it's for the Spirit of Eve Championship, which is basically a hardcore title. I was like, oh, frick yes. I was like, this is going to be interesting. So in the match, we of course have Lucy Deathmatch, who is also known as Lucy's Guy, which I love. It's like I love Lucy Death Guy is great. Taking on Emerson Jane and Sky Blue. I'm gonna let this next picture just stay there for folks though to see how crazy did this match get. Emerson Jane learned from Drew Parker, and so did Sky Blue with those darts. Drew Parker, man, Drew Parker. Is it too soon to say that Sky is like the AEW Queen of Death matches now? Like, I was just like, Homegirl, it seems to be thriving in death matches now. I was just like, when she is covered in crimson and carries herself, like, I don't know, man. It's like she really be out here. Oh my god, this
Yeah,
match was insane.
yes. Sky loves this shit,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, it's good because it means that she can carve out a path for herself. Um, and some of these spots were so
Mm-hmm.
brutal. Like this one right here, when she was like, she's about to stick the second one into uh,
Emerson.
Emerson's Emerson's mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and she's poking it through, and like she is like this close from poking out an eye,
Mm-hmm.
like the entire time, and Emerson has to like, be like, no, no, like.
It's like not there, not there.
But then we got the walrus look, right?
Oh my
Like
gosh.
cuckoo cuckoo. Man, there was everything. There was everything in this. Like I feel like what was it? Stefan from SNL. Like
Exactly.
uh,
Okay, this match had everything.
yeah, yeah. It had everything. It had chair tables. Uh, it, it had darts. It had thumbtacks. I think there was a exploding bat at the beginning, like one of those deathmatch bats.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. My favorite part of this match was Lucy Sky being like, "Yeah, I'm breaking a fucking table this time
Yeah,
because."
she's just like, not today, Satan, not today.
I don't know if the Brits get all their tables from Japan, but they really they
Oh my
if there was
gosh.
anything that I took away from this weekend is that those British tables they're built solid, man.
You know what? The funny thing is, Benny, when I was watching All In yesterday with my friend, I said the exact same thing. I was like, dang, these UK and Japanese and New Japan tables just don't want to break. They're just like, I am the table. Oh, Lordy. But again, this was such a violent match. And I was just like, I know death matches aren't everyone. However, I'm a sick little freak. um, when it's done right, like I mean, come on, man. Literally, that's what the championship is. The Spirit of Eve is literally a hardcore deathmatch title. So I'm like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And honestly, this was fantastic. And shout out to Lucy. She's our inaugural Spirit of Eve champion. So I was just like, that is somebody you don't want to mess with in a death hardcore match. Like, but good on everyone, man. This was bloody. This was violent. And I loved it. Speaking of things I love, though, uh, Benny realizes this because this poor man was up super late as I was watching this on Friday evening, right? And so I'm like, oh my gosh, Night Sky, yes, love them. They're fantastic. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, oh, we got, who's coming out? And so then Nightshade's coming out. I was like, oh, that's cool. Wait a minute, she got a championship belt. I'm not up to speed on everything. So what am I about to watch? And then I literally texted Betty that I was crying with tears of joy because Ms. Nyla Rose came out through the curtain, and I was like, "Oh my god, my doll is back on my screen again." Hashtag protect the dolls. Anywho, um,
I completely
but
agree.
uh, this was a tag team championship match for the marvelous tag team titles of marvelous tag is what I'm calling it. But Nyla Rose and Nightshade defending the titles against Night Sky, and I was like, uh. I was just happy to see Nyla. That's the only note I really have. It's like, oh my god, Nyla's on my screen. I can die happy now.
Yeah, it tipped me off when Nightshade had come out with the belt, like you had mentioned, and I am probably far too connected, because I often subscribe to um, Wrestle Universe, so uh, I had a feeling that her tag team partner was about to come out, and she did. Oh man, um, I really love the uh, Night Sky. That, that Violet, no, Sky Smithson, right? Like, I pretty much fell in love with this character, like, pretty much right when I saw her, like, I think it was Effie's Big Gay Brunch UK last year. And that's really what made me seek out Eve, right? Because I was just like, who is this and where can I get more? Because she is fantastic and she gets so much heat. Like, or even when she even when she's a baby face, like the people love her, like so like she just gets so much out of every moment. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, but this match was absolutely everything. Um, I really like the there was a Baldo bomb at the end, right? To retain by there was a Baldo bomb by Nightshade, and then a senton by Nyla. We don't have to make things complicated, people. You know, big people beating up small people, and the small
A tale
people
as
getting
old
what
as
they
time.
deserve.
Yes. Oh my goodness. This is such another this was a fun match. I mean, Nyla and Nightshade retained the championships. So, I mean, there's a sequence of events here that we're going to talk about really quickly, right? So, of course, Nightshade, is still talking, is still doing it. Eventually, she gets Sky Smithson to give her a hug because they're besties and they were a tag team before, and so Night Sky exit, and then Nightshade and Nyla Rose cut this promo, and Nyla Rose has me cracking up because like she gets on one knee, she's like, but Nightshade, be like, there's more. Let's make this announcement, Desu. And I was like, oh my god, I was I was crying of laughter. And then like not even 10 seconds later, my heart was filled with joy because Nyla and Nightshade announced that January 9th we are getting Eve versus Marvelous, and we got they gave us three of the wrestlers that would be participating in the show, and I lost my absolutely mother fucking mind, especially Misky Roja. I was like, ah, oh my god! I was like, I don't follow Marvelous like that, but I know who she is.
Yeah, and Sari,
That we all
and
know Saria. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I was like, yes. Oh, wrestling is alive.
and Sanka, who is a student of Mako Satomura.
Uh,
I
yes.
hope I pronounced it.
Yep, you did. The legend and icon she is.
Uh, yeah, and Sanka is just she's gonna get beat, right? But she's gonna make a hell of an effort out of it, you know.
Listen, I love that Eve is partnering with so many of these like Joshi promotions in Japan for these shows. Like we saw Eve versus TJPW because that was such a good time. Like we're getting Marvelous. I'm just like, again, Joshi and women's wrestling in general is alive and well. And so I'm excited. I already have it written on our calendar. I was just like, yes, here we go. This is going to be iconic. It's going to be good. But then Night Sky come back out and they attack Nyla and Nightshade. So I was just like, great segment. And you know what? True to Night Sky, they lost. They beat Petty Betties. They going to beat bitches up. Like, that is their MO. They going to beat everybody up, which I love.
Yeah, heels being heels, gotta love it.
Gotta love it. Speaking of heels being heels, I'm just like, now, of course, originally it was supposed to be Marina versus Alice. I don't know what happened with Alice Inc., but I hope we get, they didn't mention anything, but I hope we get that match somewhere down the line because the world is not ready. I'm not ready, but I want to see it. But regardless, I actually did enjoy this match too. So we got Chantel Jordan versus the problem, Marina Shafir. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I know the Death Riders, they come in from like the backstage through the crowd. There's just something a little extra special with Marina's entrance here because literally they open up the metallic door like we're about to enter like Fight Club warehouse with the smoke and the crowd there. I was just like, Marina, you ate that. You ate that entrance. Um, yeah, I enjoyed this match. Again, it's a change because originally it was Marina. It was supposed to be Marina and Alice Inc. But you know what? Chantel held her own. But unfortunately, she could not solve the problem. That was Marina Shafir.
Nicely done. Uh, you know, I thought that Chantel Jordan like really made me a fan of her by the end of this, right? Like I've seen her a couple times. Like she teamed with Alice back earlier on this year, and but just the fight that they had that Chantel had in her like was like it was really impressive. Like I didn't think this was gonna last long, and it lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Just to call a couple spots that I really liked is uh, this match was probably one of my matches of the weekend, just from because I love Marina. Like she's one of my favorite wrestlers and women's wrestlers right now, and there's just something different about Marina in a small building with a like some people are just built for indie wrestling, man. You know, like I think she's so great on AEW and stuff. I'm not saying that, but I digress. One thing I really thought was great was the two spot. Right? They
Oh my
usually,
gosh.
but it was an arm bar, right? Right. So
Right.
they're just rolling back and forth. Like who's going to get the advantage on a two spot? Because Marina didn't want to give up the arm bar. Oh man, this match is great. I was not a the only my only critique is that I was not a big fan of the Death Riders being ringside the entire time because
Mm,
uh, I know we're a couple of guys covering women's wrestling here right now, but this is supposed to be a all women's show. Like,
it really is. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Yes, you're 100% correct. We are two dudes, two men covering with Eve, which is a women all women's wrestling promotion. But to be completely honest, not to say that it makes us a little bit better than if it were two regular straight dudes, but I'm like, because it's me and you, like I'm just putting it out there, protect the dolls. But honestly, and like if take away the fact if we weren't part of the community like that, right? I still think it's important for everyone, but especially men, to talk about and be passionate about women's wrestling too, because
mm,
in society in general, not to get on my soapbox too quickly, like women already have enough of a tough task going in any field, like
oh,
regardless. There's,
definitely.
but especially when it comes to professional wrestling, like again, this is not this is not the big fed, this is not WWE, but I was just like, we have come so far from the bra and panties matches, from like the Piggy James storyline where girls were just being catty to be catty. And now we actually have legit women's wrestling, and it is always better than the men. Sorry, men, you got to step your game up. Like
Yeah,
women's wrestling is that girl, to be completely honest. And I need
yeah.
more people to talk about women's wrestling. That's all I want to say.
No, I completely agree. And like right now, like there's probably some of the best women's wrestling out there going on. It's just not on your it's not on your TV screen, right? Like you have to subscribe to 85 different apps and hope to see one of your favorite wrestlers in a singles match, even though or see your favorite wrestler in a tag match, even though they're a singles wrestler, right? Like which brings up a whole other problem of women's tag team wrestling in the West. But that is a whole different topic for another time. All I gotta say is supports women's wrestling regardless of company. Is what they're getting one match every Wednesday and one match every Saturday. And apparently, a couple of weeks ago, they couldn't even get on Raw. So
Don't remind me because I'm always ready to throw hands for my girls, but like it
so dumb. It's so dumb.
is
And by the
it really
way, half of the women's roster in AW is probably five. There's a good amount of people that are more over in the women's division than there are in the men's division.
for
So
reals.
I digress.
And I feel you, Nick. Like me and Benny have like way too many apps and subscribe to too many things. But
Right.
this is why we love wrestling, and it's important, man. It's important. That's why I'm just putting it out there. Hopefully it leads to good things, but with all these independent promotions working with AEW and CMLL and New Japan and just getting eyes on things, like we're here for it. But yeah, this was fun, but I agree with Nick and you, Benny. Like the Death Riders could have came out and then went to the back and watched in the back. Like they didn't need to be out here on ringside. Like the cameo in the intro would have been good enough. So, but other than that, really fun match between Chantel and Marina Shafir. Marina Shafir continues to be the problem for every woman she comes across. And with Defy coming back now that we've kind of settled that weird thing out with whatever was going on with that, hopefully that means more Defy stuff that we could cover. I have missed Defy coverage on this channel, and I'm so happy, especially because Marina Shafir is still the Defy women's champion. So
Yeah.
let's
I
do
I
more of
love
that.
I love Defy, and I'm happy it's back.
Seriously. So their first show is on October. Hopefully that means that we can watch and cover it. We'll see what happens.
I think they already announced Mox and Marina for that show.
Yeah. Y'all think Marina and Roddy have crazy encounters? LOL. Nick, you watched All In. I'm gonna let you answer that question.
do yourself a favor and Google Marina and Roddy Disneyland.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's icon. I cannot. Oh, it's so good. Anywho, let's keep going. Just let me go back. Like
Yeah, Kylie Ray, I was not aware of your game. Like,
holy shit, she kept up with
Jesus
Miyu. Oh,
Christ.
like she kept up with Miyu Yamashita in ways that I didn't think that she was able to. And I knew Kaylee Ray is so good as a wrestler, but ma'am, I did not know your hard hitting game was as strong as everything else. Like, oh my god. Okay, to set this up real quick and then we can gush. Main event of Eve versus the World 2 for the Eve International Championship. Kaylee Ray challenging the pink striker Miyu Yamashita. Just uh just uh yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely epic, man. Like,
Nick, like it is not I'm not
goosebumps.
talking I'm not talking hyperbole. Like honestly, this match was everything and honestly it was so good and it is definitely up there as some of my favorite women's matches this year across the world right now, but I feel like that's a testament to both of them. So again, Kaylee Ray Kaylee, well, ooh, this is a good question for you, Berdito. Was it good for Berdito as it was for me?
It was. It was. Yes, it was. I wouldn't put it in such a way, but it was. It was. It was just as good for me.
Between the two of us, I'm
um,
the overdramatic one of this duo,
yeah, I'm the straight man. What?
which
What?
is
No, I'm not.
crazy. How no, you're sir, that is a lie. Don't let the outfit fool you, internet. He is as straight as a spaghetti noodle. Like, it's just like
Oh man. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. Uh, that's when me hit the. Thank you. You got a light. Um, you know,
bringing it back. Miyu
when
Yamashita.
when Miyu hit the skull kick, right? The first skull kick, and Kaylee Ray kicked out. Like I was like, oh man, we're this is only the beginning, isn't it? And boy, was it like they almost go the time limit, right? Like, and it was a 30-minute time. Uh, and man, that what was it like? Oh yeah, and then like there was just like this wild flurry at the end, right? And like uh, Kaylee Ray had just like been and Miyu had just been throwing hands like for like 10 minutes, right? And then like for what felt like 10 minutes, and then Miyu gets a desperation skull kick, and that's what went to the match. Like, what beautiful storytelling in a fight. You know, like this actually looks like a fight.
Oh,
My,
100%.
just like most Miyu Yamashita matches. Like as we said before, that she's wrestling John Wick, so she's never flinching, ever moving forward. You know, so like Jason Voorhees, I guess sometimes.
Well, Miyu coming up like Jason Voorhees, it's just like I was like, oh, that could have been a thumbnail. I loved it. But what I loved is Kaylee kind of Kaylee pushed Miyu to the absolute pulling everything out of the bag and literally winning by the skin of her teeth, so to speak. Like the desperation in that final kick, man, was insane, and I felt it watching it. Like, oh my gosh, I love women's wrestling, and I love Eve. That is my conclusion, my concluding thesis statement.
Yeah, because I remember like when like they were coming coming up on the time, right? Like they had like
Mhm.
3 or 4 minutes left. And I was like, because they were playing on the expectations of like what happened with between Miyu and Jamie Hayter, the Friday before Eve wrestled appointed him. Like I was like, are they gonna go to the time limit? Like, just, holy crap!
And also, this is why I love Eve too, because I know there's like a weird thing out here, especially in Western wrestling, where going to the time limit is just like, no, there can only be a winner. I'm like, no, go to the time limit. That helps protect both wrestlers, and we don't have to cause a schmoz finish to protect both of them. Like, let two talented people reach the time limit because in real life, sometimes fights go to the time limit if both of them are equally giving it their all. Like, come on now. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, I actually love like a good what they call Broadway, right?
Mhm.
Like where you know they reach the time limit and then and then the heel is just like the good guy's like, give me 5 more minutes, and the heel's just like no, and walks away. Like it just sets up for other stuff down the road. I like that kind of stuff.
100%. So Miyu Yamashita is still our EVE International Championship. Now, after this, though, it sets up two big things for us, and I am so here for it all. So, of course, it sets up a couple of things. One, so as Kaylee Ray is exiting the ring after giving her, a show of respect to Miyu, she runs into Stat Daddy, who is, clapping for Miyu because again, remember Miyu Yamashita was the one to take the title of Chris Statlander to become Eve International Champion, and so Chris goes into the ring to get in the face of Miyu, but before she gets in, she literally shoulder checks Kaylee Ray. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, ooh, Stat Daddy, I love you, but that was not the smartest decision and not the smartest decision you did. Because Kaylee Ray said, fuck it. And her and Chris begin fighting in the streamers and fighting against the streamers. But like, they were fighting. So that sets that something up down the line for those two. And then Burrito Shafir pops up out of nowhere like a whole demon and like chokes out Mew. And I was just like, oh, Marina versus Mew would eat down. Like, oh, I don't know when we're getting that one, but that match would eat.
Man, I'm looking forward to that, and I love the fact that Marina shows up out of nowhere. Like you can hear the crowd buzzing because you think that it's because of the fight going on in the aisleway because of Kaylee Ray and Statlander. But
Mm-hmm.
then they pan around and like Miyu's just standing there, and then all of a sudden you see Marina like rise from the ashes and like choke out Miyu with the mother's milk, and like
Mm-hmm.
uh, was it like Marina like stands over Miyu with the title, clearly challenging her, and then rolls out and walks away. And then Miyu wakes up and is fucking pissed. 'Cause-
Iconic. Loved it. Again, there's a reason she is called the Pink Striker, and she's ready to kick Marina's head clean off. Like you said, she is the John Wick of professional wrestling right
yeah,
now, and she is coming back and she is coming for that target. So I don't care. Obviously, I hope it's in an Eve, but you know what? Whichever Eve show we get Marina and Mew, like Tony Anthony Khan, you better make this happen. Like, let Marina come over and fight Mew. Oh, that match. Listen, I'm still waiting for Marina and Alice Inc. whenever that match is, but I'm looking forward to Miyu Yamashita and Marina Shafir. Or if you just want to give me all three in a triple threat where they can each kick each other's heads off, like iconic. Like, but no, a one-on-one between Miyu and Marina actually would probably end up making like my favorite matches of the year list, like hands down, just on paper alone.
Yeah. If it happens this year, it's definitely going on the list. If it happens next year, it's going to be on next year's list. So,
It's going on the list regardless, like obviously. And then again, not to also give flowers to the other two, but I'm also whenever we get Chris and Kaylee Ray too, like those women, we saw Kaylee Ray throw down in this match, and knowing that Chris can be the bruiser too, just let them two fight. Just let it be a brawler. Let them just beat each other up. Like Eve does it once again and sets up some really fun stuff. Now, that brings us to the end of Eve versus the World 2. Again, uh, this match, this show, the matches, they were so much fun. Honestly, I loved every second of it. But Eve wastes no time because, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Eve is not wasting no time because they already announced that their next show is this Friday. So we are moving on to Eve chapter 154 titled Mean Girls, with multiple R's in it for some odd reason, but I'd love it nonetheless. And we have we have a pretty fun card announced so far. So, coming to us from Mean Girls this Friday, here are the matches that we are currently scheduled for, and obviously there might be some more unannounced ones. But we are getting Sapphire Reed and Kaylee Ray taking on each other, so that match is going to be crazy. Love that one. French Art is defending their Eve Tag Team Championships against the Showstopper, so Maddie Morgan and Miss Melissa Fierce. Love Melissa Fierce, so that should be a fun match. Lana Austin is out here getting revenge for her bestie, Holly Barlow, because it's going to be Lana Austin versus Rio. And I'm like, oh man, that match is going to go nuts. And then, of course, we just saw both of them in action on this show, but now they will be taking each other on. Chantel Jordan versus Emerson Jane. Oh, Lord.
that's a great lineup. Like, you see, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's some great stuff going on in Eve, and I'm looking forward to whatever's coming up next.
Oh, 100%. Also, they because as I was on the internets getting the information of the show for Mean Girls this Saturday, we're already looking ahead towards Eve 155, which is Global Thunder Queen's Attack. And they announced that Miss Emi Sakura and Mei Saruga, the Killer Queens, will be in action at Eve 155 in October. And I was just like,
Wait,
yes.
what? Mei Saruga
Mei Saruga. That's what it said.
and Emi Sakura?
The Killer Queens.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I just made Benny's night, you guys. Even well, let me rephrase. I made it even better. He was already doing great, but now it's even better. Cherry on top, if you will.
Absolutely, Mei Saruga and Emi Sakura and Eve. Let's fucking go!
So they will be in action for E155, aptly titled Global Thunder Queens Attack. So, oh man, I can't wait to see that. Again, Eve is out here doing great things for women's wrestling and women's world wrestling as well. But yeah, so that's going to be it for us here. I appreciate Benny, as always, for joining me and being my cohort and conspirator for our Velvet Riot show. But we got a whole lot of things to talk about. This is a really stacked week. So tomorrow night, Benny and I will be here. We gushed over women's wrestling. Now we're going to gush over AEW wrestling, and possibly I will cry on screen again, reliving everything that went down. So tomorrow night, we will be talking about All in London. So Benny and I will be here. We may or may not have some special guests be popping in as well. Some friends of mine who also watch the show who would love to give their thoughts and talk professional wrestling with us. So that's going to be fun. Then this week begins our newly minted schedule. So Wednesday, we only have one show instead of two. So Wednesday, we have our CMLL show as we are 2 weeks out from Aniversario, which is insane. So that is another show that I'm gonna be like, hey Benny, like you don't have to be on the after show, but watch this because the anniversary shows for CMLL go hard. they they crazy. Then Thursday is officially our new day for NXT. So we're kicking it off with the crazy one because we're doing a double review. We had a back-to-back pay-per-view for AAA and NXT. So we'll be covering AAA's Ola de Calor and NXT's Heatwave pay-per-view on Thursday. Well, at Thursday in the early evening, and then later in the evening, Mystery Wrestling 28, in which we cleanse our palates, we talk about some fun action, lots of AEW crossovers and UK crossovers. Like I cried my little eyes out. I got a dream match that I did not know I wanted until I saw it. So,
Hey, who was that big girl that did the swerve move at NXT Heatwave?
oh, that would probably be. I think that's no, not. Is it Kendall? I think it might be Kendall. No, it would be on SmackDown. That would be
Oh
Fallon
no,
Henley.
NXT
Oh,
Heatwave.
oh, let's see. The big girl who did it. That probably would.
It was like on
Maybe
the outside
Zarya.
of the ring that like went viral or whatever.
Oh, Micah Lockwood. Yeah, that was nuts to watch. Micah's really fun.
Yeah, Swerve's been hitting that move for like a year and a half.
I
Like,
know.
like everybody's like, "Wow, it's amazing! Have you seen that movie before?" Like, yeah, like every Wednesday for the past 3 years. Like,
Which is very fair. But you know what? I have a soft spot for Micah. I really, really do. And we'll talk afterwards because like it's a whole thing. But anywho, so that's Thursday. Then on Friday, another double review, at least for this week only. I will be talking some Progress Wrestling. And we have a really fun show to talk about wrestling over everything. We're getting Cara Noir defending his title against Spike Trevay. So those two are fight forever. The 0121 will be defending their tag titles against Diamond Eyes. So that's Manlight DeReese and Drilla. Maloney defending the titles against our new Rev Pro champion Connor Mills and his tag team partners. So that's going to be fun. And guys, I know it's not for a championship, but my match of the card that I'm looking forward to the most to talk about, Blackheart Leo Rush versus Rio. Like that is the match I am looking forward to talking about the most. Because it's just like, why? But also, why not? And then we'll be talking about TNA later that evening. And then we wrap things up on Sunday with the watch along for Sunday night's main event. And then we go back to regular scheduled where we cover all the crazy stuff that happened in the UK this week. And then it's back to regular schedule for the most part. I'm like, and I thought April during WrestleMania weekend was nuts. Anyway, Benny and I are going to get up on out of here. So thank you so much for tuning in. The next time you will see the Velvet Riot cover another edition of Eve is literally next Monday. We'll be here next Monday to talk about Mean Girls. So from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. Me and Benny will see you tomorrow to talk about all things AEW, all in London. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.